Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Wednesday as you are listening to the show today. It is The Valley Business Today, and it is the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber's turn at the mic. We have pre-recorded our conversation on the Zoom screen. I've got a whole bunch of smiling faces here in front of me. One of them is Corey Campbell. He is the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Corey's a newbie to the show. So Corey, welcome aboard and congratulations on your new gig.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I might be a newbie to the show, but I definitely grew up listening to the river and everything there. So really excited to be on it. Really excited to be a part of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber as a new marketing director, and really thrilled to be talking about the Greater Good Awards today and having a blast doing it.
Well, it's been interesting. So many of my guests that I've talked to over the past year, we've joked about them taking on a new position in the middle of a pandemic and the complications that sometimes brought with it. But you kind of joined the chamber in the middle of a pandemic and in the middle of planning one of their biggest cornerstone events of the year. So that had to be a little overwhelming, I would guess.
It was certainly quite a rocket ship going into it. Luckily, I've had some really good people behind me, beside me, as far as the top of the Virginia regional staff here. Knowing a couple of people in the community really kind of helped they were able to step forward into this event and really have a strong collaboration. So while I'm excited to be here, it definitely hasn't been on me, and there's definitely been a number of people who have been involved behind the scenes.
So tell me about the event, because this is one of the first in-person events that you guys have held. How did it go that night? Tell me how the night went for the Greater Good Awards.
We had a lot of fun. It was, first off, to be able to see the community out there, to be able to see people in person. We were at the Alamo Draft House down in Kernstown, and they've got this new air purification system that really made it safe for everybody to be in the building. And then we utilized 4 different theaters for guests to be able to attend and to be able to watch a live production that was being streamed from a 5th theater. So really, the Alamo staff was awesome as far as it was an amazing dinner. They had everything going well there. The projectionist crew to be able to get everything run, to make it happen from one theater to the other 4. Eric and Joseph did a great job there. And then what we had done is we had set up a couple monitors in there, a couple computers, a couple cameras. We were able to have Mike Odell as our master of ceremonies, which was a real blast. And Cynthia was able to address the crowd. And then we were able to actually bring the winners in without telling them ahead of time that they had won, and get that acceptance speech. When we were originally kicking around the idea, we thought, oh, do we have to make this a production and tell the winners and show up at their business? But we really wanted to retain the authenticity of the event. Being a signature chamber event, we wanted to keep it in its signature there.
So how complicated was it keeping a secret? Because when you're starting to pull the winners together, I would assume they're kind of looking around going, wait, I'm the only one in the room that was nominated in that category. Or did they know that?
We had to put all the nominees into one theater. So we had a nominee theater. So all of them were in there so they could be with each other and really celebrate themselves as they were winning. And then getting everything seated so that winners didn't necessarily know who they were. We wanted to, again, retain that element of surprise since it is so important. But really some great leaders this year who, with the amount of things that they accomplished, I would hope that they had a good inkling that they were doing some good work in our community.
Now, was any of this recorded? Can I, if I wasn't there that night, go back and watch it later to see who won and listen to their speeches?
Absolutely. So we were able to record the entire evening. We had done some pre-production work with some of the nominator videos. So when somebody was nominated, or when somebody won their award, their nominator actually spoke to the entire crowd. And so those will be in there. And right now we're working on getting that replay up and posted. We'll have some information soon at our website at regionalchamber.biz to get that up. And we'll be throwing it out on Facebook and all that fun stuff as well. But yes, we will have a replay, and I hope everybody has a chance to watch it. And even if you were there that evening, we're going to add some different things in there to really elevate the experience.
I know we have two of our winners on the screen with us today. Before we chat with them for a bit, can you give me a rundown of who all of the winners were in each of the categories?
Absolutely. So for our Entrepreneur of the Year, it was Tom Stamulus of the True North Group. For our Small Business of the Year, it was Kimberly's. Our Large Business of the Year, who will be joining us here, is YHB, CPAs and Consultants. Our Emerging Leader, again, joining us here today, is Greg Vossler. Our Nonprofit of the Year was the United Way Valley Assistance Network. And then our Citizen of the Year was Dr. Nicholas Restrepo of Valley Health.
And then you guys had a Circle of Excellence award this year, which I thought was so on point. It was awesome. Tell me about that.
We did. So we had 5 doctors representing Valley Health and the Lower Fairfax Health District who came out to accept the award, but it really, while we were honoring them, they were very clear to make it, or they made it the point very clear that it was about their teams that had done the work. But we had honored Mark Nance, Dr. Jeff Feit, Dr. Ayed Sabah, Dr. Colin Green, and then
Dr. Restrepo.
Dr. Restrepo, thank you.
I'm looking at his face. That was part of his face, because the picture in the press release that you sent out, of course, they were all wearing masks. And I'm like, wait, yeah, it's Dr. Restrepo.
Right. We were also able to honor Wilkins Shoe Center, who's been a legacy member with the Chamber for 73 years. So that was an amazing moment as well, to bring up Philip and Kendra Brewer to speak to the crowd.
Phil and Kendra have done the show with me before, and I'll joke with them in case they're listening today that while the business has been in business 73 years, Phil doesn't look a day over 30.
Not at all. Not at all. And
Kendra doesn't look a day over 26. So we'll slide in some props to them as well.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a break in a few minutes. We're going to come back and talk with all of our guests. Before we do that, though, I at least want to get them in this first segment. I'm going to start with you, Greg. Greg Vossler won the Emerging Leader. Greg, tell me, where do you work, and was this a surprise to you?
Well, I guess I'll answer in the way that you asked. I work at Green Bay Packaging, and it was a pretty big surprise. My wife, who doesn't really go out and do much because of obvious reasons, almost blew it. I think she said something along the lines of, "Hey, I think I want to go with you to the event." And it, got the wheels turning. I'm like, why would she want to go? It was a pleasant surprise. As Corey had mentioned, a lot of other things that happened that night were also very surprising, all in a good way. It was a nice piece and well done by the team at the Chamber.
So also joining us on the Zoom screen is Jeremy Shen and Adrian Taylor from YHB. How big of a surprise was it to you guys? Did you have like 40 people there just in case your name was called as the winner of Large Business of the Year?
Well, I will speak first. It is tax season. So we are in the thick of our busy season at YHB. So as much as we would have liked to bring the whole crew, many were working behind the scenes. So we had a smaller team that represented the firm, and it was overwhelmingly just a incredible honor, and to be listed with the other nominees this year was just incredible. So I think once we get through the filing season, we will celebrate a little more with the masses, but it was certainly a wonderful event. And, as Greg and Corey said, just overwhelming to actually connect and to see people, and for the chamber to lead the charge of bringing the community together in a safe way was truly, a nice experience.
And Jeremy, I know you participate in a lot of different chamber events, and most all of them have been virtual over this last year. So it had to be particularly fun for you and interesting to be able to do something like this in person.
It was. The Corey and the team there did just a fantastic job of figuring this out. I will say, I don't know that people appreciate how logistically challenging and difficult it was to do what they did all in house. Like, these are things you normally hire a production company to come in and do, and they did it themselves. So, I mean, props to them really for doing what they did. That was very difficult. And yeah, it was great to see people in person. I mean, it was from a distance and kind of, everyone's doing the awkward, do I fist bump you? Do I elbow bump? Do I just wave from a distance? And then there's whole trying to hear people talk with the mask on, and it's a whole new world out there. But it was fun. I think people were just excited to be together, at least in the same place. We weren't close to each other, but we were in the same space and kind of had to all experience things in real time together. So it was fun.
And that's one of the cool things. I've participated in other award ceremonies like this, and looking around the room, especially when I was in the position where I knew who the winners were. So as they're doing the whole, this is who they give all the background before they actually announce the name. And you're looking to see how long does it take into the description before suddenly, oh, wait, that they're talking about us. It probably made it a little more difficult to see those reactions when you had masks covering your face.
Right. And being in a movie theater, right? So it was dark and you're only looking right in front of you. So you can't really look around without being, standing up and being overly disruptive. It was fun. It was a hoot.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. Again, we are pre-recording it on the Zoom screen. We are chatting with a few of the winners of the Greater Good Awards from the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Corey Campbell is on the Zoom with me. He is the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Chamber. Greg Vossler is their Emerging Leader winner. Adrian Taylor and Jeremy Shen are here representing YHB, which was the Large Business of the Year. We're going to come back and continue our conversation in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Wednesday. As you are listening to the show today, we, of course, have pre-recorded our conversation on the Zoom screen. It is the Valley Business today, and we are talking about the Greater Good Awards. We talked last month to last year's winners, and this month we are very excited because we have two of this year's winners on the Zoom with us. Corey Campbell is the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Joining him is Greg Vossler. He is the Emerging Leader Award winner. Along with him is Adrian Taylor and Jeremy Shen from YHB. They were the Large Business of the Year. And we joked during the break when we were chatting a little bit about the honor of being nominated. And it really is a big deal when you look at other people that are on that list, kind of competing of sorts with you. And Corey, you were telling me that some of the other businesses that were on that nomination slate for Large Business of the Year, it's a really big deal. Tell me who those were so I can ask Adrian and Jeremy how awesome it is that they won.
Absolutely. So YHB was going up against some powerful nominees this year. Valley Health, which absolutely did an incredible job during the pandemic. Shenandoah University, again, just really running with their programs and everything that they did over there at the university, and then adding vaccinations on top of it. The village at Orchard Ridge, we know how susceptible some of the nursing home populations were during the pandemic. So them to be able to be nominated for the good work that they were doing. Blue Ridge Industries, just another powerhouse, large business. And then our winners, YHB, who just did a great job in 2020.
So, Adrian, I promise I won't tell anybody, but did you look at that list and think, no way, there's no way we have a shot at this?
Absolutely. The list of nominees were so impressive. And I said many times throughout the pandemic, fortunately, we're not saving lives. We're not on the front line, and we're recognizing what the leaders in the community are doing, our nurses, our physicians, and the true essential employees. But we were tasked with helping our clients and the community business owners navigate very, very challenging times. The tax laws were coming in so quickly to try to provide aid, and being able to process the information and then share that information was extremely valuable to the community during a very, very challenging time. And this legislation combined taxes, lending, human resources. I mean, there were so many facets, and business owners were faced with such challenging decisions. It really took, our whole team to come together to try to provide some solutions, for our clients. And it was just a real honor to be able to rise to that challenge and to help the community in what we do best. So,
well, I think sometimes you guys are like forgotten heroes, because while people may not on a community-wide level think of you as a frontline worker, to those small business owners and to those people who are in the throes of this as well, you are their frontline workers. So it had to feel good, I would think, Jeremy, to be recognized and somebody realize and notice that.
Yeah, and I think definitely, our team are more the behind the scenes people, making sure things work and work well. And so I think, Adrian mentioned in her speech, this is kind of uncomfortable for us to win the award, right? Like normally we're making other people look good and talking them up and setting them up for success. And so, maybe that's just a trait of being, accountants as well, as they prefer to be behind the scenes. So it was a little different for us, but I mean, the work that, these guys did, last year, and they're still doing now, because we're still in tax season, we're still in a pandemic, and there was another very large piece of legislation that was passed a few weeks ago. What they did and to serve the clients. And I mean, I was only a very small piece of it, and I was still getting calls at 9, 10 o'clock at night from them and helping them get communications out and put things together for clients. And I know they were just nonstop, just being available and between businesses and nonprofits and just the way they stepped up, was just incredibly impressive to me. And I'm just grateful to be a small part of the team at YHB.
And it's one of those things too, where you don't ever expect the pat on the back. So when you get a pat on the back to the degree that this is, it really does kind of, I would think, give you a little bit more motivation and make you feel so much better moving forward about what you do, even if you knew you were doing a great job anyway.
It definitely felt really good to share this with the community and for the team to be recognized for, just the above and beyond work that went into the past 13 months.
And Greg, we were joking too during the break. Your nominator was Carrie Dunstan, who was on the show last month because he was the Citizen of the Year last year. And then you were telling me that you actually nominated him for that. And I joked with you that he mentioned something about payback last month, and I didn't know what that meant. So kind of give me some scoop on that.
Well, it's a very long drawn out payback, I guess. And I don't know, payback might not be the right way to define it, but it was an opportunity for him to pay it back. I mean, Kerry does a lot of work behind the scenes. And I mean, obviously, based on the interview that you had with him and everything that he does. But it was you mentioned surprises in the first segment, and that was probably the biggest surprise to see, because Emerging Leader wasn't the first award given. And when the first nominator came up, I was like, oh, this is so cool, and then your mind starts racing and you're like, oh, if I win, who the heck nominated me? Who did I impress enough for them to consider me for this kind of award? And when Mike announced my name, And then let's hear from his nominator. I stood up, and as I was walking out the theater, I glanced up and I saw that it was Carrie. And it really took my breath away, because you don't feel like you try and do your best every single day, and you try and have your best impression on people, and you don't realize how much people think of you until something like that. And it goes the same thing for YHB and all the nominees, really. I mean, everyone who was on that list deserves an award, especially the folks on the front line, including YHB. We'll just wink to him there for you. But yeah, so it was a nice surprise, and it was a nice payback, I guess, if payback can be nice.
Well, and Emerging Leader, Corey, is a relatively new addition to the slate of awards in the Greater Good compilation, right?
Yes, ma'am. Greg is our third award winner there.
Adrian and Jeremy, I know you mentioned briefly that there is a huge group of people that are behind all of this at YHB. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to before we wrap up that maybe you couldn't when you were doing your acceptance speech? Because I'm sure there were a ton of things running through your mind at that time.
I don't know. What do you think, Jeremy? I mean, it's a complete team effort from
Adrian. Yeah, I think you were supposed to thank your husband in the speech, right? Yeah. I mean, no, really. I mean, it is a really combined effort. Adrian was one of probably, I'll say, a dozen core group of people that the ones, as soon as something came out, they dropped everything that they were doing and just switched to reading. I don't know if you guys have ever read like actual laws that were passed by the government, federal or state. Would be my advice. It's not worth it.
This is why we have people like you. We just
Right.
say, hey, we saw this on the news. What does it mean for me? And we expect you to tell us.
Right. And they just stopped and just dropped everything. We're interpreting it right away. And so really got us out of the gate quickly. And so, Adrian and probably a dozen or so other people were that core team that drove it. But really our staff in general has just it's been in the never ending tax season. The deadline's getting extended. That means they keep working through the summer. And so really they've just never stopped, and it's just incredible. And they're still pleasant people, which is amazing.
If somebody wants more information about YHB, they want to check you out. Do you guys have a website, social media outlets? Where can they get more information about YHB?
That's a great question. We have all those things. YHBCPA.com. Come. We've got a lot of information on there. We'd love if you to follow us on social media, sign up for our newsletter. We're getting information out as we get it quickly. Everyone knows, I'm sure by now, the individual Virginia state tax deadline, income tax deadline was extended, as well as the federal income tax deadline. That's just for individuals. So there might be changes to businesses or other types of forms you need to file. So you want to stay on top of that so you're not missing any opportunities that you have.
Fantastic. And Greg, are you already formulating in your mind who you may nominate for an award next year?
Well, every year I like to nominate for every category. And I have a good list already formulating up there. Yes. And it'll be, but now that I heard all the nominators and what they had to say, I'm like, geez, I got to really step my game up.
It's more than just filling out a form or writing a background or a bio. You're going to have to practice a speech and everything now.
I know. I mean, good grief. I thought I was done with speeches.
And Corey, is there anything going on with the chamber that we need to know about coming up in the next couple of weeks?
There absolutely is. We have some speech craft coming up for the Winchester Toastmasters. We have a public policy breakfast coming up on the 8th of April, and all that information can be found at regionalchamber.biz. We too also utilize the social outlets as far as Facebook and all that fun stuff. So if you have any questions, want to attend a chamber event, want to look at becoming a member of the chamber, go ahead and visit us at regionalchamber.biz, and we will get you taken care of there.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all for taking some time out of your day to meet up with me on the Zoom screen. I hope I'm not responsible for somebody's taxes being late because y'all were talking to me.
No, thank you for having everybody and having the leaders out.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janet.
I will be back tomorrow. It is a live show tomorrow. I know. I only say that once a month, and that's only because it is Lieutenant Warren Gosnell from the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. It is our normal Traffic Safety Thursday. We'll have all kinds of cool stuff to talk about, and I'm sure I'm going to give him grief about something because that's just kind of how it works. So meet me back here tomorrow just a few minutes after noon.